Hello, Matthew.
Hi, teacher. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. And how are you doing today?
The same as usual.
Okay, nothing special.
Nothing special. Oh yes, I'm going to take a big exam.
Okay,
In coming week
in this coming week.
or
This,
next week.
next week. Okay.
Next week or this week. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I
okay. All
haven't
right.
decided. So yeah, how?
Okay.
Yeah, and another great news for me is today I received an invitation from Microsoft. So
Wow.
that makes me very happy.
Oh, yes, me too, as your teacher. And as your
Thank you.
friend as well. Wow, congratulations and good luck to you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. You said Microsoft, so it's a foreign company.
Yeah, it's a foreign company,
Okay, great.
um,
And
and it also requires a good English skills. So
okay,
yeah,
requires instead of saying request, requires.
require. Okay,
Yes, it requires or
require
yes.
a good English skill. So
Okay.
I need to
Well,
practice more.
oh yes, and you already have enough um, skill to converse with them. So let's just have more of knowledge that we can use for you to apply in your job. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm confident enough that you can do it. So how do you feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel that you've
Um,
been sent an invitation for an interview to such big company, right? It's not just really a joke, but it's a Microsoft company, and
no, yeah, this is not the most biggest, the biggest or greatest company I have got the invitation
okay,
from
yes,
because like Google or Amazon, I have been invited to as well
wow,
in next year,
okay.
and
So what's about?
just unfortunately it ended up not very good. So I'm
So
still
again, sorry, what's not very good?
and it ended up I failed to get the job. So
Ah,
I'm still
okay,
yeah I'm still working very hard on it.
okay. So I think if you'll get hired here, it can be a good stepping stone for you.
Stepping stone. Oh, you mean like a checkpoint?
Yeah, like a good experience for you to be able to try again in a big company
Okay,
because
yeah,
you would learn more about this. So the same
yeah,
thing
yeah,
as
yeah.
having a big or applying for a big company. Okay. Well, anyways, good luck, and that's why I said it's a big company because that's before you can try again to a big company because this is a big
Yeah,
experience for you. This is a big
yes, yes.
opportunity. Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. That this is correct.
Okay. Well, anyways, you know how to have an interview, right? You just need to feel, you just need to be confident and then search more about this company so you can
Okay.
share more. If, for example, they would ask you, what do you know about our company and how can you be an asset in the company? Do you know that question?
Being an accent.
Asset, A-S-S-E-T.
I don't know what does asset mean.
Okay, when you say asset, it means how are you, or yeah, how would you help the
Uh huh.
company to be bigger, to improve?
Oh,
It means how are you going to be a good worker in the company, like that.
Wow, this is a very difficult, also simple question.
Yes, it's a simple question, but it tells a lot. Um,
Yeah, hard to
Basically,
answer.
yes, about yourself. So, anyways, if you'll be asked such question, you just need to say what is good about you that you can apply to the company and you can share to the company. Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
are
that's.
you asked many times about this question?
I have been asked and I have asked other teachers because I have when I was just looking for a job, of course, I have been to different interviews, and I have been always answering such question. And then when I had
Mhm.
many experiences teaching, I have given the chance to ask someone also, like I was the interviewer, for example.
Mhm.
So I was able to ask also to some teachers so I could, compare my answers and I would know how are they being serious to to apply for this job.
Oh,
Okay, yes, because when they ask you about to be an asset in a company, they are asking you also how serious are you to work in this company. Okay, which means that
hmm
you will share all your knowledge and you will double up, you will work hard just to show them that you
Oh,
are capable on working for them or on working in this company, like that. So that's how you answer it. Okay.
okay. About this question, teacher, you what is the you think the the best answer that surprised you very much in the past?
When I asked this,
Yeah,
no,
and what is?
okay,
Mhm.
nothing surprising actually. I
Okay.
always rely on how honest you tell me your answers.
Oh,
Because even if you would tell me, oh yes, actually I hate being late, so I always come early to work. I always finish my jobs earlier, even the day before you ask me to submit it. Those are just basic answers you say. And basically, there will come a time that you'll get late, you'll tell me some excuses, blah blah, and so on. And then because you're sick or you don't feel well, you will not finish all the projects or paperworks I will tell you to, right? So those are just basic things or answers that cannot be said in an interview. So you just need to be honest. What is something about you that can be good for the company? So you can just tell me
oh,
that because I love teaching and I love children, I have this experience teaching my nephews, my nieces, and even my child. So I think that's a good point for me to easily teach children in this company, right?
okay.
So that's about your skill. That's how you become asset. Because the more you easily teach children is the more you can have more students. So that's an
Ah,
asset that you're already an asset in my company because I can hire or I can have more students to teach or to study with you because you are a good teacher. So it's about
ah,
skills. That's asset skills. Okay.
okay. So it's a noun. Noun is a noun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how you answer it. Okay. It's about something about you that you can give to your company. That's to be an
Yeah.
asset. Okay. It's not
Okay.
about you are handsome, you are tall. Okay. It's not about you love dogs. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Okay. Clear?
Clear.
All right then. So let's go to
vocabulary.
Vocabulary? Oh,
Yeah,
yes. We're
yes.
done. We finished
With
up. Is represented by, right?
Yeah, is part 2. There is the blank we have to fill.
Fill in. Okay.
Yeah, and I have finished it.
Oh, yes. We
So-
skipped that, right?
Yeah, we skipped that.
Okay. So let's have number 1.
Okay. Number 1. A line on the chart that is made up of small circles is dotted line, which is okay. And number 2, a polite way to say this next example confirms what I have just said is, let me illustrate this with,
Okay.
okay. And next, a different way to say show or confirm is demonstrate. Right?
Okay. So number 1 is
Dotted line.
yes, dotted line. Very good. Number 2 is
Let me illustrate this with.
okay. Number 1, what is the key point or keyword? Dotted line is right. What is the keyword? Why dotted line?
Made out of small circles.
Okay, so we're talking about chart that is made up of circles. That's your key point, okay? Remember,
Yeah.
when you answer such fill in the blanks, you should get the key point. Okay, next. Polite way to say
The next example and confirm what I've just said, which is it already pointed
yes.
by.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to say.
Okay, confirms what I've just said, which means you will give them example.
Yeah.
Okay, show
To-
them something. You will show them something. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's yes.
To support what you have just said.
Yeah, to support what you have just said. Okay, illustration or illustrate. Next, number 3.
This one is not really. I'm not really confident to choose.
Okay,
So, but
but
by checking all of the vocabulary, I think this demonstrate is more fit
okay,
to this one.
yeah, it best suit.
Best suit.
Yes, in the sentence.
Okay, yeah, the best suit.
It. You would say this word best suit the sentence.
Then
Yes, I think this word
you
demonstrates
say suit.
best suit the sentence or in the sentence. Okay,
How do you spell the suit?
S-U-I-T.
S-U-I-T?
Yes,
Isn't that is suit? Is that the suit?
clothes. Yes, but when
Oh,
you
the same
describe yes, the same word. So here it means it is the best word to use.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
it's just
best
like
word.
saying the best clothes to wear. So the same thing. So you can use suit here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So your answer is yes, correct.
Demonstrates.
Yes, it's correct. All right. Demonstrate. Okay, because of the words shows or confirms.
But I'm not really sure that shows and even confirms has the close meaning to demonstrates, you know?
These are
Because
just
demonstrate,
okay.
you know?
Please say. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because
demonstrate for me is like you to showing something which is okay, but confirms is not very clear to me. when it comes to say they are very similar to each other.
Okay, actually, they are not very similar. They
Oh.
just try to describe what is about demonstrates because they will not tell you the exact word, right?
Yeah.
Because you will easily identify what's the word. So we used shows and confirms because as you can see in the picture. Oh, sorry, not the picture. No, not the picture. Sorry. The example on number 2. Let me illustrate. Isn't it? Illustrate is near to demonstrate, right? It is a word that is near to describe, demonstrate. And then number 2, we have the word confirm. Confirms. So the same thing as shows and confirms. So that is to show something, to confirm something. So that is about how you demonstrate.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, what's your confusion?
Just like what I said, demonstrate is like you to show something.
Yes, show how something is done.
Yeah, and confirm for me is you to make sure. You to make sure.
To confirm, to make sure something is done.
Oh, make sure how something is done.
Yes, how something is done. So that is demonstrate.
Ah, okay.
Okay, because that is what is happening, right? Did you remember? Demonstrate, it is what happens, action.
Yeah.
And then illustrate. Yes?
Just the question is to
the sentence?
You know, and ambiguous.
Why? The sentence?
Yeah, the sentence.
No. It's not like that. Of course, because this is a fill-in-the-blank activity. So they will use, yes, they will use confusing words that, you know, you get confused, but they are just actually the same. Or they describe the right word. That's why you choose the best word. Okay?
Yeah.
So don't get confused.
Okay.
Just that's why I lighten the key points. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you won't get confused. These are just
Yeah,
the basis. Okay. Yes?
Yeah, teacher, you know what? There are several very confusing questions, like by nearly, by about, and even the 10 by above. And
Okay.
the question is too similar. So
Yes.
not sure which one is exact the answer to the questions.
Okay. Well, I will show you the key points so you can understand it more. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I hope I can understand.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Number 4. Your answer is by almost.
Yeah.
That's right.
But why it is not by roughly?
It's because of the word nearly. When you say nearly, it is described as almost there. Okay, for example, the nearest number to number 5 is number 6 or number 4, right?
Number 6.
And number 4.
Yeah.
And number 4,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when you say
Correct.
by almost, it means you are referring to number 5, but you are describing number 4. For example, number 4 is, or 4% is, oh, sorry, I forgot my sentence. Okay.
Yeah, you are saying the number,
Yes, the number.
the 4.
Yes, which means 4 is almost number 5.
Almost.
Number 5. Because you just need to add 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. So
Mhm.
the same thing as 4 is the nearest and 4 is almost 5. Because there's nothing that is next to number 4 and almost number 4, which is number 5. It's not number 7, number 8, number 9, right? Because those are higher numbers.
It's a little bit
Confusing?
not a bit confusing. It's a little bit how to say that. I forgot how to express that.
Because I can't use a very simple.
It's yeah. It's not that very. It's not that simple.
Yeah, very
Or-
simple example that is so clear for you. Okay, but anyways, like what I said before, don't make yourself confused. When we are talking about English, we only need to follow what is basic. So basically, nearly and almost are just the same.
Okay.
And in the sentence, it says another way to say by nearly and by almost. So don't confuse yourself. You can use either nearly and almost in a sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know sometimes we just have to memorize it
Yes.
and
Remember.
without any reason. We just memorize.
Yes, because that's how you will make yourself confused.
Yeah.
And you might and what's worse is that you might not able to understand it. How to use, when to use, right? Okay.
Yeah, just memorize.
Okay. And one more thing, in English there are exemptions. There are times that when you hear a sentence and it sounds right, it's actually right. If you don't know the answer, if you don't remember, if you can't know what's the right answer, sometimes you can base it on how it sounds. If it sounds correct, it sounds correct. If it sounds wrong, you would know. Okay? I'm not telling you you will do that most of the time, but there are times, seldomly, it happens that way. Okay?
I don't get your point.
I mean, there are times that you don't know if the sentence is wrong or right, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not familiar. So what I mean is, there are times that when you try to read the sentence, it sounds right,
Uh-huh.
although you're confused if it's right. And then
Uh-huh.
sometimes it sounds wrong, but you think it's right, isn't it? So, I mean, you can base your answer that way if you're not really sure. Instead of
Base my-
confusing yourself. Sorry?
I'm not. I just murmur.
So instead of confusing yourself, what's this word mean like that and so on and so forth, just try to listen to the sentence. If it sounds right, then that's actually right.
Oh.
If it sounds wrong, when you read it to yourself, okay?
Oh.
That's just very seldom. Okay, that's just very seldom. It rarely happens. Okay,
Okay.
I just share it to you. But that doesn't mean you will use that suggestion. Okay.
Okay.
When you
Believe,
yeah,
believe
when in
your-
case,
Okay.
when just in case, when it's necessary. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Number 5, a phrase that describes the quantity of time a graph or chart covers.
By over. Yeah, this is very. This is
Okay.
strange?
So the answer is shows that over a 10-year period.
Why that is that idiom or
Yeah, it's a kind of idiom. It's a direct, just to say 10-year.
10-year?
Yeah.
What does that want to express?
When you say 10-year period, this is what they usually use in companies, which means decade.
Uh-huh.
Decade.
No, I mean, what does this idiom want to express?
No. It's not. It's not actually an idiom. It's an expression that describes 10 years. You've accomplished 10 years, for example. Okay, like here, we are talking about the quantity of time graph or chart covers, which means we are talking about how many years, how many months, okay?
How many years?
Yes, or how many months. But here, it's just an expression to show that over a 10-year period. It's just an example, okay? A 10-year period expression. Because decade is what they mostly use in example or as example.
Yeah, but the question is, it's hard for me to link with this answer. I don't know why the answer is shows that a 10-year period.
10-year.
Yeah, as teacher, you say there is a key point for you to choose the correct answer, right?
Yes.
And I found no key point to choose any answer.
Okay.
This is my problem.
Yes. Okay. The key point here is it's a phrase.
Uh-huh.
When you use phrase, you put into a particular form of words, right?
Particular form of words.
Yes. You put the words together.
Oh, okay.
You put them together to have a meaning.
Okay.
Okay, so here, it only describes that the time graph, okay, the time graph from start to ending, and then the chart cover, which means from the start to end, okay, shows that over a 10-year period, which means that when you say a 10-year period, there is start and ending. They only use 10 years. It doesn't really mean 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, okay? It's just an example or a phrase that shows there is a 10-year period within the graph, within the chart, okay? It's just an example they use. They can say 11 years, 12 years, and so on. They just use 10 year because this is decade. It's a good example to use, okay? Decade, which is equal... Sorry?
What is the big key point to use this phrase?
The key point.
To use this phrase. Why would you want to use this phrase?
If you are talking about, like what I said, the key point is you are pertaining to, you can say, number of years.
Pertaining?
Yes, you are describing number of years. For example, you started 2007, 2001, year 2001.
2001. Uh-huh.
Yes. So that's 2000 up to 2010, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 10
Mhm.
years.
Yeah.
So when you see something about talking about how many years and there is a limit or there is an exact year where it ends, so that means this phrase that you are showing over a 10-year period. So it can be 20, 30. It depends on the sentence.
Okay.
Okay.
Teacher, do you know what is the difference between phrases and expressions?
Okay, phrases, we put words together, right?
Yeah. But
And
what
then
about expressions?
exchange.
Expressions.
Okay, when you say expressions, oh, no.
Yeah, because this is confusing. These
Okay,
two are similar for me, but I don't know if it is really similar.
which one?
Phrase and expressions.
Yes. So the difference.
Hmm.
So expressions are like basic words you say.
Basic word.
Yes, for example, they can be greetings, good morning. They can
Uh,
be expressions.
they are you um, as the phrases you put words together to have another meaning.
Yes.
So, which means they are uh, in um, a certain degree they are similar.
Yes, they are similar.
But how do you very accurately to use this word?
In in
And in what?
hello, Matthew.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
Yeah, can you hear me?
oh yes. Can you hear me well? I'm so sorry. I just restarted my connection.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you very well.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, is it clear?
You mean the connection?
I mean my voice. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, very well.
Oh, okay, thanks God. Okay, great. I thought I'll wait for until later. Okay. All right. Going back to our discussion, you were asking expressions and then phrases, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When you say phrases, you put words together, but it doesn't complete the thought unless you use it in a sentence. Okay. For example,
Okay.
um, over a 10-year period or 10-year period, it does not complete the thought. What's about 10-year period?
Uh-huh.
But if you use that in a sentence, it completes the thought, right?
Yeah.
So it's a phrase if it's not yet being used in a sentence.
It's a phrase. Yes.
Yes.
You mean it's a phrase now have been finished in a
Yes.
sentence?
Yes.
Okay. Now what about the expressions?
Expressions are like basic words that we use. For example, like what I said, greeting, good morning, and then what else? nice to meet you. Those are what we used to say to someone. We don't have to search, we don't have to ask someone, is it okay to say, how are you? But we express them how we feel.
Wow. I
Okay?
think it is another case, just like by nearly and by almost. Seems like what I have to do is to memorize it and leave it alone. Don't have to make it very clear.
No. I just remember the difference. Phrase, it doesn't have a complete thought unless you use it in a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you put words together, yes. But unless you use it in a sentence, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then that's how you complete the thought of the phrase. We use
Yeah.
phrase to make it simple, like becoming idioms, okay?
Okay.
I'm not saying it becomes idiom, just like idioms, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it we put the words together to have another meaning, that's idiom, right?
Okay.
Okay, but phrase, we put words together to complete the thought in the sentence,
Ah,
okay?
okay.
That's the difference.
Okay.
Unless you don't use it, or unless you use it in a word, there is nothing about phrase. It's just two-word combination, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and then expression, these are just the basic sentences that we use.
How do you define the basic sentences?
Like the usual sentences we say. Good morning, question, how are you? Asking question, like, is it this paper? You can just say, that's it. It's an expression.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Alright?
Okay.
Okay.
So expression is like, even we just use it, but the thought is already
There.
complete.
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 Yes, you can say it's not a complete sentence, but the thought is already there, right?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Clear.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah. It's a good explanation.
Okay. So just in case, I'll try to check my notes later, and if ever, okay, I'll just send it to you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now next, number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
We just finished it.
Oh, sorry, number 6.
Okay. A way to focus people's attention on a chart or graph
Yes.
is, as you can see.
Okay, is as you can see. So that is number 6.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Is
And
as you can see. Okay.
Number 7. Another way to say by about is by roughly.
Okay, another way to say by about is by roughly. Okay, so this is another confusion.
Yeah, is that the one question is that roughly, if I just say roughly, is that very close to the meaning of when I say by roughly, or it depends?
It depends. Or
Oh,
when you say roughly, it just describes something as rough.
yeah.
Okay, that's a direct word to describe something rough, which is roughly. But when you say by roughly, you are describing that is something near to something.
Near.
It gets to something. Okay, you're not describing then something that is rough, but you are describing something that is next to.
You mean the point is different when we use by roughly and roughly?
Yes.
Um. So what it is? What is it when we use by roughly?
Sorry.
About the key point.
The key point.
Yeah, teacher would say roughly and by roughly is focusing on the different key points.
Yes. Okay, in here, there is no key point, but just the word about, by about.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say by about, it only means, it means same as the word approximately.
Approximately. But that's yeah. But approximately is more similar to only roughly, right?
Yes, same thing as saying by roughly. No. What I mean when you use roughly, you use it to describe something that is okay, what's the word? In a manner lacking gentleness, harsh. It's about character when you say roughly, okay? Because it's an adverb. Okay, when you say roughly, it's a word that you describe someone, what someone has done. What did someone do? That's it, okay? But when you say by roughly, you are describing, it can be percentage, it can be, you are describing more about, for example, percentage.
So you mean roughly is more specific than by roughly?
No.
Oh. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes. Peter, so can you
When you say roughly, it's about manner. Manner.
The manner.
Yes, that's how you act. Character.
Okay. And what about by roughly?
When you say by roughly, you are describing something. It's not about character, okay? It's not about manner. You use by roughly to explain something. For example, in what do you call this one? In presentation. Okay, in a presentation. Roughly, in manner, is not good, right?
Roughly in manner is not good.
Yes.
I don't get the point.
Okay, no. Roughly, when you say roughly in a manner, as a person, if you describe a person being rough as roughly, that's negative, right?
Oh, okay.
So when you say by roughly, you are describing something in the presentation. It's a situation, again, it's a situation, okay, that this situation is not good, is not doing well.
Oh.
So you describe a part of your presentation which is not doing good. which is not good because it's rough. You used the meaning of rough in the presentation.
Can you make an example of what you just gave me about the presentation is not good?
Okay, like for example, the money I've saved corresponds roughly the amount I need for my course. Okay, here. Okay, I'll change it. That's kind of confusing. Okay, another one. The company employs men and women in roughly equal proportions.
In roughly equal. You mean
proportions?
The percentage is very close?
Yes, very close, which means that that's negative because, yeah, which means nearly close.
Yeah. Oh, and this is example for roughly. Okay, but what about by roughly?
For roughly.
This is an example for roughly, right? Not by roughly.
Yes. Okay, let me think.
Yeah. What about by roughly?
Okay, let me think about it. Okay, just to be sure of this in a sentence, I'll just look for my notes because I don't want to give examples that are not really sure. So I'll just check my notes and then I will send it to you on Skype just to make it clear.
Okay.
Okay, because sentence will prove them the difference.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, because the more I give, the more I also get confused.
Oh.
How to explain it to you? Okay, so I'll just check my notes.
Is that too simple for you to explain?
No, it's not really. It's because as much as possible, I use basic explanations that my students should understand me. It's because sometimes I tend to use higher examples or explanations, higher points of explanations that my student don't get me. Because I used to talk to different students, which they use higher terms of words. So sometimes when I explain something into a very simple way, I'm losing words to say. Okay, because I can make a simple word into more simple. So that's why I also get confused how to say it on my own. Okay, so I guess to show sentences is better.
Okay.
All right, and I also hate if I can't make it to my student to understand. You know that, right? I won't stop unless you understand it. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so next time it's not just by about, by roughly. I will also give you notes about by nearly, by almost, just to make it clear things up in different sentences on how you can use it. Okay?
As easy, simple.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
As much as possible. That's why I need to check it first. So I would think of sentences that are simple and easy to understand. Okay. Okay. So just to finish up 8 and 9 and 10, I will tell you if your answers are right or wrong, and then since our time is up, we'll continue next time. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
number 8 isn't a one-off case. That's right.
Okay.
Okay, and then number 9 is represented by. So because we've already learned those, I guess you have some simple points, and you got the right answer.
Okay. Okay.
And number 10, of course. What is the
Yeah, number
answer?
10.
Yeah, number 10.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
if it is by over, but it seems like
it seems like
it is
it is
the final one.
the final one we don't have to.
So
Yes, so that's by over, because by over was supposed to be, or was your answer in number 5, right? Okay, so here it's number 10. But then again, there's a confusion, I know,
yeah.
about by above. So I'll just clear things out on these next time, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yes. Because I've noticed that it's a waste of time that I give you explanations, but you still can't get it, and then you ask questions. So next time, if there will have some like this, let's take note, and then I will give you examples on Skype, so it's not a waste of time for you, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so because I want you to have more than listening to me explaining, okay? So next time, if you
Oh,
have
yeah.
questions, let's just take note of them, and then I will just send it to you on Skype. So I guess that's better, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, anyways, thank you. I'll just take note of these questions for tonight, and have a great sleep tonight. Talk to you next time. Yeah. Good luck to your interview, just in case.
Yeah. It's just begin. I just get the invitation.
Yeah. So you
I
need
think
to prepare yourself.
long way to go.
Yes, and think of the possible questions. That's a good preparation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Yes, you're always
Thank you.
welcome, and talk to you next time.
Okay.
See you. Talk to you next time.
See you.
Yes, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.